Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to day number 17. Day number 17 of my 90 days live. I am getting my voice back a little bit. I was able to get just a little bit of rest. So it's great to be here today. I want to talk about finances and mental health. I know mental health is a huge topic. I've been very um, close, I guess, with mental health and definitely issues in mental health and I just really thought it was interesting some of the statistics that I found with the correlation between financial stress and mental health. And we know that, we have already a lot that's going on within our minds, within our worlds. And so just to see that financial stress is one of the um factors in mental health is definitely an interesting statistic. I know I don't really see this really talked about a lot. I mean, I know a lot of people think, okay, well, let's just, fix the financial situation and sometimes your mental health gets better. Um, I will say that they are two separate things, but there are certain things that can contribute to the mental health, right? So, and vice versa. So, mental health can also affect your finances. And um, I was reading something, and what happens is that there's a cycle that happens versus maybe you start off with financial stress and then it causes you to have a decline in your mental health. Well, the decline in mental health causes you to not perform well financially. And so it's like this never ending cycle that is hard to get out of. And so we're going to look at some ways on how we can actually talk about that. Yes, I do know it's a Friday, but I want to start out with some stats. They said that women are more likely to be affected than men. Um, and they say that women are significantly more likely to cite money as having a negative impact on their mental health. So it's about 46% versus 38% of men. If you guys want to know where this information came from, this came from bankrate.com. So you guys are able to check against those and see the sources that they have, but I want to let you know where I'm getting this information. I didn't conduct the study, but it's bankrate.com. All one thing. Also, too, throughout all the generations between the millennials, the Gen X, and the Gen Z, the millennials are the ones that are more psychologically impacted by financial concerns versus 46% of Gen X. Isn't that crazy? Because we come from the boomer generation to the Gen X and then to the millennials. And then after the millennials, then we have the Gen Z. And so I'm just looking at, there's 46% that are psychologically impacted by financial concerns. And then the millennials, the 26 to 41 year olds, that's a big wide gap, right? They suffer the most. And then the Gen Z had 40%, right? And so what I'm noticing is that, I have taught at, I teach at a university currently, and then also at community colleges. And I've seen that the younger generation actually are being a little bit more wise with money. I know that that sounds a little crazy, but that's what I've seen. They said that they've seen their parents get in so much debt that they didn't want to be like their parents. And so I thought that was really interesting. And so, really, we just see like a generational psychological impact that it's having. Also, they say that high earners, so if you make more money, experience less emotional distress than low earners. It says only 30% of people with annual incomes of at least 100,000 cited money as a negative factor in their health. That's a quote. That's compared to 48% of those household incomes of less than $50,000. And so, regardless of where you at, we know that money can be a stressor wherever you are at. They're just saying that if you are a high earner, you could experience less emotional distress. However, I have seen with high earners that they still deal with emotional distress. And so I would say that those things are kind of could be independent, right? Um, kind of could be independent and then kind of together. I don't know. It's just oh, how do I see? It's connected some way, somehow. Worrying about money is a frequent event. Among those cited, money as having a negative impact, 28% say they worry about money daily. And so they say males worry about it more than females. And then people with a high school degree uh, are worried about it more, right? Compared to those with some college or more. And then, yeah, so, anyways, the whole point of this is that money is a big factor, and that there are just emotions linked, negative emotions linked to money problems. And what happens is that you'll see someone who's like an emotional spender, or like I've mentioned, there's an emotional spender, and then there's an emotional um, money maker, right? So for those that are in business, sometimes you wait until you're in a right emotional place, which is a good place to be, but it's almost like a cycle of feast or famine. And so finances can have a significant impact. Again, financial stress can cause anxiety, it can cause depression and other health problems. Not that it can, but it can be like a major contributor. People who are struggling to make ends meet, that's something, right? Making financial decisions, having high debt can all affect your mental well being and your emotional well being. And so, those are some of the things. Also, it can cause relationship problems, right? So for couples that are in high debt, right, there's a lot of back and forth that can happen. And those that are experiencing just financial issues, it can be just a big issue as far as like relationship problems, I've seen. And then also, it can cause, like, it can have an effect on your self esteem, right? It can have an effect on not feeling like you're not enough because maybe you are comparing yourself to the Joneses. Also, if you allow stress to get to you for a long period of time, it can cause health problems. And then also, some people, how they cope with financial stress is through, they may turn to other things that may not be conducive for their health. And so, finances, let's talk about some of the ways. Those are the ways that it can actually impact you and actually have a negative impact on you, because we know, I mean, and I'll tell you, like, for us being transparent, when we went through our financial roadblock, right? When we hit a financial wall, like, boom, for some years, right? Yeah, it affected a lot of things. It affected emotions. Yes, we were able to like function and everything like that, but there are some things um that we didn't build, like confidence in some areas, right? Whereas some people had, confidence in certain things, and sometimes you let comparison get to you and different things like that. And so, or just worried about money. And so, let me give you some few key pointers on what to do if you are worried about money. And this goes for people who are even making money. Making money, that's also a type of crisis, because if you've made more money than you ever made, then you've got to learn how to manage that. And so sometimes if you are a poor manager, then what's going to happen is you're going to end up in financial stress. There's people who have $1 million, organizations, and then next thing you know, they have to close their doors. They have to file bankruptcy. So the thing is You have to know that just making more money only is going to help solve all the emotional issues that you may have or all the mental issues that you may be dealing with. So let's look into this. One of the things that I would say is you want to focus on the present, right? So focusing on the present moment and not worrying about the future, um or dwelling on the past. So there's three directions that you can be pulled as far as making sure that you focus on the here and now, is not worrying about the future. OMG, how are we going to get this paid? How is this bill? How are we going to make money in the future, right? I'm not saying having not having strategic foresight. What I'm saying is putting yourself in a position of worry so that you already almost put yourself in a position to lose. What if I lose? What if I don't get enough sales? What if I can't pay my bills next month? What if I'm in more debt next month? What if? And basically, I'm going to tell you this, faith works two ways, right? You like worry is like a concept of faith. When you're worried, you are putting your faith in the worst things that can happen. When you put yourself in anticipation, your word, you can anticipate the best things happening, right? And so you can prepare for the best things happening, but being prepared if something does not go your way. So focus on the present, right? Where are you at right now? What's happening? Do you have enough money in a bank account? You want to start there. If you dwell on the past, oh no, I've been in debt. Oh no, I've filed bankruptcy. Oh no, um, I've not even reached my financial goals yet. Oh no, like you're dwelling on the past. That can also add to your stress. So look at where you are right now, right? Look at where you are right now. And just knowing that when you focus on the present, right here and now, you'll know what you can do from your position right now. Like you'll know what to do from your position right now. So if you can focus on the present, here's the thing, you want to focus on it objectively, not, oh no, this is okay, this is not going to happen. This is like, don't put yourself in a worry place. Look at it as an objective point of view. Secondly, you want to go ahead and seek support, right? Talking to a therapist or a professional to help manage some of the stresses that are related to finances. Sometimes, and I'll tell you this, with a therapist, one of the things that helped me is that I did go seek support. And what you think is an issue that only deals with finances, you'll realize that it deals deeper than that. Every time, like every time that we're able to meet, I I realize that okay, this money issue isn't just a money issue. It's like a deeper issue of knowing my value and worth. It's a deeper issue of, do I deserve this or not? It was a deeper issue. And so they'll kind of help you drill down on what mental blocks are holding you back. And it's something more than what a coach can do, right? Because of course, y'all know I'm big on coaches, but a therapist can actually help you really like drill down on what inside of you, like what happened for you to have this belief about money or to be in a cycle that you are. And so seek support. It's okay to seek support and seek um yeah, just seek help, seek professional help, right? And you may say, hey, I may be stressed about money. You may not know, you may know something happened to you when you were 5 years old that's still living with you today, that's still affecting you today and affecting how you make money or affecting how you spend money. Like it's good on finding root issues. So number one, I say just focus on the present, right? Just focus on that. And then seek support. That's second. That's really important, right? And then, because if you think, okay, let me go get a loan or let me go get an emergency loan, right? Seek professional support through therapists. And number three, prioritize self care. Taking care of oneself is essential for reducing stress, right? eating healthy, getting enough sleep, not worrying about it at night because there's nothing you can do. The Bible says, who can add um, a cubit, who can add to their stature by worrying? You cannot add by worrying. So, what can you do? You can start making changes, right? Eating healthy. But I understand if you're emotionally not there and you're feeling kind of crappy, right? You're probably going to eat crap, right? You're probably going to eat something that's not healthy. You're probably going to be up worrying at night, and then you're going to be upset because, maybe you just have these unhealthy habits. But I would say start with one thing at a time. What can you do that can prioritize self care? Can you wake up in the morning, or if you don't want to wake up in the morning, spend time just reading the word, or putting something in your mind that's healthy, whatever that is. If it's praying, prioritizing yourself is important. And I understand that you may be in a position to where you are a caregiver. Maybe you are taking care of parents, maybe you are taking care of little ones, maybe you are taking care of somebody with special needs. And so it's really important that you have a system to allow you to be poured back into. Like, that's really important. So you have to prioritize self care. So I'll just ask you to do one thing out of all this, right? One thing. If it's to seek out a therapist, right? Seek out, and I'll tell you this: many millionaires that I know have a therapist. Like, I was like, okay, I'm sold on it. Like, I'm telling you, they have therapists, and it's been like awesome. So yeah, don't think that is great. So if it's one thing, prioritize the self-care, practice relaxation, practice being in a state of godliness with contentment is great gain. That's a scripture in the Bible. Godliness with contentment is great gain. And being grateful, right? Just saying thank you for my life. Yes, my financial situation may look like this, and it may cause, but practice thankfulness on how he's able to bring you as far as he brought you to, right? Like right now, you're in this present, he's brought you this far, he's not going to leave you. And so you are able to ride with that confidence, God, that I'm still here. I have these issues, but these issues are over here. It's like you have to, they're attached to you, but you don't have to like carry that big burden. You can look at it objectively, right? So um I'll probably wait to use that. And then also seek financial advice. That can help as well too, because ask, seek, knock. Right, those things are really important. Is to ask, you will find answers. Right, if you seek, you will find. If you knock, the door will be open. And so financial advisors can really help. They can help you provide guidance on investing or budgeting or managing debt. And there's a lot of resources out there, financial counseling, credit counseling, that can help you get to the place that you need to get to so you feel like you have more of a handle on your finances. That's really important, guys. And so the last thing, I was going to say this, but just give it to God, right? Just go ahead and give it to God. Whatever your issues are, I would implore you to just say, "Okay, Lord, here's what I'm dealing with. Okay, this is how much I'm in debt. This is what's going on in my life." Like, give it to the Lord and say, "This is where, I desire to be. Like, I desire prosperity, or that I desire to be out of debt." Like, allow him to pour into you and speak to you, and get in a place to where you're not always worrying about money, because it's almost like a computer that has many tabs open. I don't know if you're one of those people, or if or if you will see one of those people that have a computer and they have 20 tabs open, right? And you can't even read, they have so many tabs on there that you can't even tell, what it is. They just have the little symbol on there, right? The little Facebook symbol, and the this symbol, and then that symbol. And sometimes whenever you have that running, sometimes you have to end programs, right? You got to end the worrying program. And so I know that if I hit Control Alt Delete, this is a Mac. I think I know I could do it on my, I call it the normal laptop. Control Alt Delete, and brings up a program manager and all the apps that I may have open. Now I don't do this. I don't have that many. That would just kind of really drive me crazy because my mind probably have a lot of tabs open, but I don't do that on my computer to have like 20 tabs where I can't read them. But sometimes it just your mind it just have all these tabs open. And so sometimes it's just okay to sit with yourself and be comfortable with yourself and say, okay, Lord, what do I have? The thing to get it out of your mind, the best thing to do if it's on your mind is to write it down. Like even right now, I know it's late at night. For me, it's 10:30. If you have a lot on your mind to where you can't sleep, get a notepad, get a piece of paper, get a pen, and just write down everything that's on your mind. Like just write it down. Don't try to make a big novel of it. Just write a list. Okay, what's on your mind? What needs to be done tomorrow? What are you worried about? All that, write it out. And it will just clear your mind so that you can go to sleep and just be like, okay, I'm at peace. Let me go to sleep and let me think about these things. Also, whenever you write problems down, what happens is whenever you go to sleep, it gives your brain a chance to refresh. You know, whenever you put a computer to sleep or whatever, I don't really know the logistics, but whenever you go to sleep, it's important so that your brain can rejuvenate and make, come up with ideas or come up with solutions that you wouldn't think about because you're always on, you're always going. A way to burn out your computer is through just keeping your apps on all the time, right? And just you hear that, oh, y'all hear that laptop noise, Zzzz, like that fan that's always going because everything, like, you want to like shut all that down by like taking it, putting it out on paper, and being like, okay, Lord, here you go. This like tomorrow has worries of its own. So you write it down, make it tomorrow, like make it worries for like the next day. Like, so definitely do this. Last time I heard something, I ended I ended up in a cuckoo house. I know, right? Right? Yeah, you got to be careful with the voices that are heard. Yeah, that you hear, right? You want to definitely make sure. But yeah, I mean, hey, mental issues are a real thing. And I'll tell y'all too, I'm going to tell y'all this because I was talking to someone and I've dealt with this. If y'all really deal with someone who has like severe mental problems, um, I would say to make sure to definitely if you ever have to like call the police or call emergencies or first responders, make sure you let them know to send. There are certain types of police officers and law enforcement that can deal with individuals with mental problems. And so sometimes they have special training that they're able to deal with someone who has like who's on medications or someone who's off their medications, right? And so I don't know. I just felt led just to talk about that and that knowing that mental issues and mental health is real, right? So keep that first, keep that priority, right? And just do that, right? And so Derek, I know you hear good stuff too because you're in a good spot. PTSD is real. Yes, PTSD is really real. And it's really hard because when people go to hospitals or when people go somewhere, it's like, okay, I have a broken arm. Okay, you physically see my arm that's broken, or you see this ailment, or I'm bleeding, or whenever you go with mental health issues, it's almost like of course it's almost like you're crazy, right? Or people look at you like that's not real because they don't see it physically, they don't see it really harming, but it is a real thing. And so I know someone who dealt with a lot of worry and panic attacks and those things like that, and it was almost like they didn't know what to do. And so you want to make sure to seek the right support in all of those areas because you like, especially if you're around it or if you're around someone, like just know that you know th- sometimes that can take over them and that can really affect how they deal with you, but it's not them, it's their illness that sometimes takes over and will take over the behaviors and cause you to, cause chaos or whatever it is. But yeah, so you just got to have grace. Just pray God can lead you through. I don't know why I was talking about this, but anyways, felt like it. Felt like it. That financial stress, mental health is a real thing, and so you definitely want to seek the support, get proper self care, and yeah, yeah. Just seek guidance however you can, get educated, and just know that you can definitely make it out. You can definitely make it out the financial situation and be in a place to where you don't have to worry, right? It's a blessing that, you can't be taken to jail for owing like debt. Now, IRS and fraud and stuff like that, that's something different. But for the most part, yeah, you're good. Like you can make it out this. So I hope y'all enjoyed this and am able to take a few pointers. Remember, gratitude is going to be very helpful, and contentment, just knowing, okay, God, we're here. What can we do? So, y'all have a blessed Friday night, and God bless all. See y'all tomorrow, Lord willing. Bye bye.